Hey, hello, greetings and salutations. Coming to you live like we do every night. It is the Psychic Third Eye Side. This case, I'm going to be honest with you, there is not a lot of information out here on this case. There's a lot of articles about it, a lot of news clips about it, but they all regurgitate the same old information. The only thing that's changed is the reward from the police department increased to $25,000 and a little bit more footage released of, I guess it would be a Ring doorbell camera. And they have no clue, no leads to my knowledge. If they do, they have not expressed so. So this is an actual no information case. So we're just going off what the cards say and go from there. This is the case of Kelly Masciarelli, her son Kolin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameryn Richard. They were discovered after their house was on fire, but they were discovered to be deceased before the fire was even started. They were all had suffered gunshot wounds. So we're going to see what went down, why. We're just going to see what the cards say. So my first question is the reason that the police towed Colin's Corvette in and deemed it an area of interest. I think it's very interesting. That's the only thing that's been collected as evidence outside the house. So, what are the events leading up to what happened in their murders? Circumstances surrounding this tragic event. Reasons. Who or what is responsible for this? Reasons or motive. One more thing I did see, I need to back up for a second here, is the police department did have a post on their Facebook page about, seeking information regarding this. And there were several comments made by an account, Savannah. I don't remember the last name, but I will put the screenshot up for you guys to read. She made some really out there comments. So I want to know the circumstances surrounding her comments on that Facebook post. It's either the girl knows something, or the girl was there, or the girl is responsible. And last but not least, revealed us something unknown about this terrible case here. Alrighty, jump off on question number 1 about the red Corvette. Now we've got the moving back in card. That signifies a return to a familiar place or situation or relationship, or it could be all three. It's having a sense of reflection, reconciliation, or rediscovery. Okay, so what's the circumstances surrounding the police making the statement that Kolin wasn't the last one in the car? So that is going to be the taser. Now, the taser indicates a moment where you need to take charge and protect yourself. It represents sudden and controlled force. This force is capable of both protection and harm, go either way. But it symbolizes power, disruption, and the ability to shift dynamics quickly. Now, that to me, I don't know about y'all, but that to me, 100% I can see in the Webster's Dictionary beside the term local law enforcement. So let's just go ahead and ask, is law enforcement involved on this case? Catfish. That is a yes card, but most importantly, the meaning of a catfish card, especially in the upright position, represents a person or a situation that's representing a false facade. It's deception, illusion, hidden motives, mistrust, and to use caution. So, hand in hand here. Question number 2, the events leading up to this event. There's no free lunch, and it's in the reverse position. Now, the reverse position suggests an imbalance in giving and receiving. It's leaving you feeling cheated as something that you were promised wasn't delivered. It shows this person in this situation exploiting others, which normally backfires. Now, here's what I'm feeling. Was one of the three that were unalive that night in a relationship with a member of law enforcement. The bullshit artist, and that is a yes. So I'm gonna get a little bit of instinct here on what I feel like, since we're going with a law enforcement card. So the circumstances surrounding this event, we've got the broken bed. Now that represents a breakdown in relationships. It's a disruption in intimacy. It's where one once at one time felt safe and reliable, and that's pretty much no more. That's in the opposite side of it. So now the reasons here, and that's going to be the festival goer in the reverse position. That indicates isolation, overindulgence, disconnect, being overwhelmed by the chaos of social demand. I feel like this is the police officer we're talking about, the law enforcement. Let's go ahead and clarify what exactly. Calm in the reverse position. Now, this highlights over independence on external aids. It's something outside to manage your stress and emotions. It indicates escaping, avoidance of underlying problems. Yeah, this is definitely a law enforcement agent. Who or what is responsible? And we have got concern in the reverse position. That's worry or doubt that clouds your judgment. It's like you have this worry or doubt, and you're allowing it to cloud your judgment. It indicates your concerns, though, are unfounded. It's just all in your head, pretty much. So I'm going to clarify on that further. So to clarify, we've got the King Bell card. Now, that represents authority, influence, and someone with a commanding presence. When King Bell is described in the Solomon Grimoires, he is described as a king who grants invisibility and is cunning. So this would be also, this person feels like they're invisible to any kind of repercussions for what they've done. This is your law enforcement. The motive or the reasons, we've got heart in the blender in the reverse position. This card warns of emotional suppression from aftermath and refusal. I can't talk today, man. Refusal to process emotional pain. So it's the type of person that is brokenhearted because you've cut things off with them, but acts like that they don't care and that, they, and when inside they're really not. So they're not processing it. And it just tends to fester and boil. Yeah, so when it comes to Savannah's comments, we've got garbage disposal. This is guilt and fear. Guilt and fear putting demands on you. Now, these are going to have to be dealt with. You're getting that mindset now that it's time not to just let go, but to fully destruct this so it can't come back to haunt you. Does this Savannah know who the cop is? Mary Jane, that is a yes. And also, the meaning of Mary Jane is using distractions or substances to avoid facing reality, leading to clouded judgment. Okay, now this Savannah. Is this someone that she buys her drugs from or is involved with buying drugs from? 25-hour artificial energy, that is a yes. So that's why this girl is saying that she's also a target. Because she knows. She's got knowledge of, I should say. Now, something unknown, we've got deception. Deception represents hidden truths, manipulation, illusions, and deception. It's also a situation where appearances are misleading. Now, this card is also a warning card. It warns of illusions crafted to obscure truth. Now, this facade is used intentionally, and it encourages one to seek evidence beneath the surface. Yeah, it's becoming clear. So I just want to do breakdown here. I want to make sure that everything's puzzle pieces in the right place. Universal remote. This symbolizes mastery, control, the ability to influence your environment and circumstances. Now, it represents an event where you hold the power to direct the course of events. You can change perspectives and even shift the dynamics in your favor. Law enforcement, law enforcement, law enforcement. Now, here's what I really need to know is who was in the relationship with this law enforcement. I'm going to say, based on, if you look at ages and generations here, the mother would probably, unfortunately, be too old to have a relationship with a law enforcement agent because at this time they would be more around Kolin and Cameryn's age. And I don't think it was Camryn. I mean, I don't think it was, I just told it. I don't think it was Kolin. I do believe it was Camryn. I believe she was fooling around on Kolin with this law enforcement. And she's broke things off with him, and that didn't settle with his ego well. Especially because they towed away that Corvette and said he wasn't the last one in it. I guarantee you that jealousy is overrun with that law enforcement agent, cop, whatever you want to call him. And he was the last one in that Corvette, and that's why it's been towed away, because it does have evidence in it, but not evidence that they want public knowledge. So, was Camryn in a side relationship with a law enforcement official? The mixologist, that is a yes card. Not only that, but the meaning of the mixologist is a warning of imbalance or indulgence in your personal endeavors. It tells you that you're mixing too many elements that's going to lead to chaos. And it shows excessive socializing and indulgence in vices. Oh, this is not what I was expecting. But this certainly makes a lot of sense. So this isn't going to be a case I'm going to try to keep up with because I don't think it will ever get solved. I think it will always be a cold case just based on the fact of who the perpetrator is. I feel like, honestly, that this Savannah that was commenting here, that either it was someone she was in a relationship with that was either blackmailed, coerced, paid, whatever the situation, to go in there and do the dirty deed, but it was on the order of this law enforcement agent. That's exactly what I feel like. So let's keep an eye on this, and we'll see you next time.